Okay, we're broadcasting? All right, thank you. Good evening and welcome. As outgoing council president, it's my privilege to call to order this reorganization meeting for the Township of Bridgewater, January 4th, 2024. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting was provided on December 21st, 2023 by sending written notice and electronic notice to the Courier News and the Breeze, posting on the website and the bulletin board in the municipal building, and filing with the township clerk. Boy Scout Troop 46 from Martinsville will now present our colors and then lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would please stand. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll now have our national anthem presented tonight by Senza Sordino Band. The band members Anna Gu, Grace Gu, Wesley Lin, Evan Wren, and Brian Zhu. Thank you. That was beautiful. Please remain standing, if you would, for our invocation performed this evening by Rabbi Dan Selsberg from Temple Shalom in Bridgewater.
In the Jewish tradition, we read through the sacred book, the Torah, every year. And this week, we reach the story of Moses, the greatest leader, and the greatest political leader, it's worth noting, in the history of the Jewish people. And Moses, the story goes, receives a call from God at the burning bush. This is in the desert. And the desert, it's not like the lovely wooded areas we have in Bridgewater. It's not lush and green. It's all these browns and oranges. So a bush on fire is a little harder to notice than it is in a green area. And Moses says, this bush, I'm noticing it's burning and it's not being consumed. I'm going to go have a closer look. And it's in that moment that God calls to him. And the Jewish tradition is that that bush had been burning since the 7 days of creation. That for thousands of years that bush was burning. But nobody took the time to notice. And when somebody slowed down enough to notice what everyone else overlooked, that's when they heard the voice of God. That was Moses. And so the blessing is that we, all of us, should slow down enough to notice what other people aren't seeing and to to be attuned enough to our environment, to notice the subtle differences in the world. Because it's in those moments that we can hear the voice of God calling us to that which is best in us and luring us to our best selves. And every moment we can make a decision, and that voice can lure us to make the best decision we can in any given moment. So I'd like to bless this council and all the residents of our township with the wisdom to slow down, to notice, and hear the voice that calls us to be our best selves. Amen.
Thank you. Everyone can be seated. I'll wait a moment while our Boy Scouts place the flags in their stands. I'm now going to recognize Alex Fisher from our law firm for the certificates of election.
All right, good evening. A statement of the determination of the Board of Canvassers of Somerset County, New Jersey, relative to an election held in the County of Somerset on November 7th, 2023, for the election of the following mentioned offices in the Township of Bridgewater. 1 4-year mayor's seat. The said board determines that Matthew C. Mensch was duly elected mayor. 2 4-year Township Council seats. The said board does determine that Timothy Ring and Michael Kirsch were duly elected to the Township Council. I do hereby certify that the foregoing is a true, full, and correct statement of the determination of the Board of Canvassers of Somerset County, New Jersey, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand the 27th day of November, 2023, signed Anthony J. DeSico, Chairman of the Board of Canvassers, and attested by Steve Peter, Somerset County Clerk.
And Steve Peter, since you're here, you can confirm all that, right? Okay, thank you very much. So with the certificates of election in order, I will invite Matthew C. Mensch to come up front and be sworn to office for a new term by our Congressman Thomas Kane, Jr.
I state your name. I, Matthew C. Mensch. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution. That I will support the Constitution. Of the United States. Of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And to the governments established in the United States. And to the governments established in the United States. And in this state. And in this state. Under the authority of the people. Under the authority of the people. And that I will faithfully. Impartially, and justly perform all the duties of mayor for the township of Bridgewater, according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
Making your comments from here or from there? Your brief comments?
You want me to do comments now?
You can wait.
I told Councilman Cardillo earlier today that my speech was going to be 32 minutes. He didn't blink. Mike asked me later if I was joking or not. I said I wasn't sure yet.
Okay.
I'll reserve my comments.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you. Then we will now have Timothy Ring, joined by his family, be sworn in. And Councilman Ring is being sworn in by his daughter, Elizabeth Ring.
I now invite Councilman Kirsch and his family up to be sworn in by Judge House.
Yeah, let me just sign it. Okay, we will now have a unique occurrence celebrating the swearing in of our new township clerk, Grace Jaguna, RMC. The oath of office will be administered by our recently retired and longtime clerk, the Honorable Linda J. Doyle, Grace's mentor. Okay, so now we're going to put our clerk right to work with an attendance roll call.
Councilman Kirsch,
Here.
Councilman Codilla,
Here.
Councilman Nogales,
Here.
Councilman Pedroso,
Here.
Councilman Ring.
Here.
Okay, our next order of business is to select a council president. I proudly nominate my colleague and running mate, Timothy Ring, to serve as council president during the year 2024.
I second it.
Are there any other nominations? Okay, if we could have a roll call to approve Councilman Ring as president for the year 2024.
Councilman Kirsch,
Yes.
Councilman Codilla,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso,
Yes.
Councilman
I
Ring.
don't have a choice after 4, so yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So our next order of business is to elect a council vice president. And 4 years ago, when I joined the council as a newly elected councilman, Councilman Nogales did a absolutely stellar job in helping get Councilman Kirsch and I up to speed and running appropriately. So I can think of no better person to nominate than Howard Nogales to be council vice president for 2024.
I'll second it.
We have this. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kirsch,
Yes.
Councilman Codilla,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso,
Yes.
President Ring.
Yes. All right. Next up is the mayor's State of the Township address. I will yield to Mayor Mensch.
32 minutes start. Stopwatch. Start.
Well, it's 6:25, so he's only got 7.
I'm told by our newly elected Mayor Bray from Raritan that they did their entire reorg in about 32 minutes. So I don't know if we're going to quite get there. But I do want to take a moment, I have my speech, but just to thank everybody who came out today. First and foremost, thank you to Tim and Michael, who have been fantastic running mates and fellow elected officials. It's been 4 years, and until you run for office and you're kind of in the political trenches with your running mates, you don't know what that's like, and no one shares that experience with you except the people you run with. And so I've been honored to be able to run with Michael and Tim, and honored that we're being sworn in together tonight for our respective second terms. And we have a great team of people behind us, all the elected officials that are here as part of our council, Howard and Alan and Philippe. The 5 of us work as an incredible team, 6 of us, 5 and me. I can't add tonight, but we work as a team to deliver for our residents. We're all individually elected. We all have our own ideas. We all have our own vision of what we want to do, but we ultimately share in the goals for our residents. And that allows us to really work together well when we have debates and we have discussions and topics. I think what winds up happening is we wind up at the best spot because we all value each other's opinions and ideas. And I think that doesn't happen a lot in government all the time, and we have that here. So we're very blessed for that. I have the job of recognizing folks in the room, which is dangerous. It's a job I don't like because you are immediately worried that you're going to forget somebody and then it's blamed on you. But it really is, first and foremost, an honor to have our Congressman Tom Kean here. He has been an amazing friend to Bridgewater over not just his time as a congressman, but since he's been here. Has worked hand in hand with us, our administration, to it's not easy working with the federal government, and have somebody like the congressman here who we can call up, who can work for our residents and work with our administration to really deliver. It's meaningful. We hadn't had that previously, and I truly appreciate the friendship from the congressman. We have our county clerk, Steve Peter, is here, who verified that we did in fact get sworn in, so thank you to our clerk for coming out tonight. Former Councilman Bob Albano is here, my neighbor and great friend, so thank you for coming out and supporting us. It's been 14 years, Bob, since you've been on the council? Do you miss it? There you go. So you're enjoying the 14 that you're off so far. There you go. We also recognize, I mentioned before, Mayor Nick Cara from Raritan is here. Thank you, Mayor, for showing up. And I look forward, there's no town that we work more closely with than Raritan. So to have a great mayor like Mayor Cara as a partner for us to deliver is really crucial. And it's especially true when it comes to the fact that we have a joint school district. And we have some of our school board members are here. I think I saw our newly elected board president, Barry Walker, is here. So thank you, Barry. Our vice president, Jennifer Lochran, is here. Thank you. And Lucy Lee is also here. So thank you to the Board of Education members who came out tonight and working for our students to ensure that they get the quality education that they deserve. Last, but certainly not least, our minority leader and Assemblyman John DeMeo was here. Thank you for him for coming up. We have a few friends here as well. Bill Spady is here. Thank you, Bill, for your friendship and for coming out tonight. Chief Mitzak is here. Thank you, Chief, for being here. Our Republican County Chairman Tim Howes is also here, or was here. I'm not sure if he skipped out, but thank you to Tim for all of his leadership throughout the county. I would be remiss if I didn't also, of course, recognize my family who is here. I have a large contingent of people that it's here tonight, which is actually makes this a little bit more nerve-wracking for me. I don't mind speaking in front of a crowd of people I don't know. When you're speaking in front of a crowd of people you do know, like your family, it almost feels more pressure. But my mother is here and my father. So mom, wave, everybody. There we go. My sister is in the front row, and there's probably, from a family member perspective, if you're happy I'm here, you can thank her. If you're not, then she's the one you can blame because she worked very hard to make sure that I got elected. Thank you, Megan, for everything that you do. My daughters are here, Julia and Manuela, wave. Oh, now Julia's shy. She wanted to know what she could do before. There was a fight about the Bible. So we worked that out. So thank you, girls. My wife, Stephanie, of course. For me to be able to do this puts an enormous strain on her because I'm out a lot, whether it's work or this or balancing that, which means Stephanie is with the kids, getting them up to 3 different activities on the same night, and that is not easy to do. So it's an amazing strain for her to allow me to do this. I couldn't without her support, so thank you, Stephanie. And my son, Jackson, is there. Jackson, you got to wave too. Jackson was much more interested in the election this year. 4 years ago, the kids were really too young to realize that I was running. So when this year, Jackson was very, I think he may have been one keeping track of which of his friends' parents had the signs on the lawns and which didn't. So I think he still has that list somewhere. I also want to recognize my mother-in-law and my father-in-law who are here. Louisa and Jack, please wave. Because when we talk about the strain that this puts on a family, when my wife needs someone to call for help, it's my mother-in-law who's the one who helps. So when we talk about taking a village to do something, that's the village that I rely upon. So without Stephanie and then the support of my mother-in-law, this would not be possible to do. So thank you, Mom, and thank you, Dad, for everything that you guys do for me. And I'm also honored today to have my Aunt Carol is here, and my cousin Karen is here, all the way from France, lives in France now, and Alex, so thank you for coming. My cousin Karen probably may not remember, but when our grandmother would come to visit, my grandmother lived in Belleville, and there used to be a joke because she'd come out to visit in Bridgewater, and she loved the deer, but could never find, the deer were never out when she was here, which is amazing to think of now, but I guess there was enough open space then that you wouldn't always see them. But she did see a cow, and there was a cow that wandered through the backyard, and she saw the cow because there were still farms in Bridgewater at that time. There was, the backyard I grew up on Papin, and behind Papin was all the farms. And it's amazing to think that that's what our Bridgewater community was known for, was we were a farming community. Something that I think we still have 2 or 3 working farms now. But that's what my grandma would come out and see the deer. I think my dad put up a salt lick at one point in time to attract the deer. I can't imagine what would happen if he did that now with the neighbors. But it's truly an honor to have so many friends and family here tonight to celebrate the accomplishments that we've done together over the past 4 years and to look forward to what the next 4 years stands to bring. It's been a reflective time for me to be able to think through what that's meant. And I talked to a lot of student groups, and one of the students recently asked me, what was my favorite thing about being the mayor? What do I like most about it? And I like a lot most days, some days less than others. But for the most part, I really enjoy being mayor. And there's two things that mean the most to me. The first one is swearing in police officers. We do that as a ceremony, usually try to do it at a council meeting, sometimes we do it beforehand. But there's something incredibly significant to me to be able to administer the oath of office, similar to the one that we just took tonight, to men and women who put their lives on the line to protect us, who are the ones that go to protect my house and my family and all of our families, and they're dedicating themselves to us. Some of them live here, some of them live in surrounding communities, but for me to have that honor is significant. I like doing it, and it's meaningful to me. The other thing that I enjoy doing is actually, ironically, talking to student groups. I like doing that because I think the students have questions that sometimes are more insightful and straightforward and harder to answer than adults. They really cut right to it. And they're so filled with curiosity and genuine interest, at least the younger ones. And the older ones start getting a little bit more eye-rolling and less interested. But the elementary students are truly just insightful. And one of the questions that in the same session that they asked is, what does it take to be a good leader? What does it take to be a good mayor? What does it take to be a good elected official? And there's books, of course, on this about what it means to be a good leader and how do you be an effective mayor or council person. And I think it takes three things. I think you have to be thoughtful, you have to be a fighter, and you have to be fearless. And when you have all those things together, I think you have an effective government that can deliver for its residents. And that's what we've tried to do over the past 4 years and what we're going to do over the next 4. We try to be thoughtful and diligent in how we approach problems. Much like the farmers that used to live here and who cultivated their land and who methodically planned and worked and toiled every day, that they did the labor that's required to reap that harvest at the end of the season. It wasn't always stuff that was flashy. It wasn't always stuff that immediately produced results. But it took time and hard work and perseverance to do. That's what our community was. It was a community of farmers. And that's what we try to do to lead now, is be thoughtful. We've approached our problems that way. We've tried to cultivate our community through programs like the Bridgewater Shield program. For those of you who don't know, Bridgewater Shield, run by Chief Mitzak, is our community policing program, our community outreach program. It's our ability to bring Bridgewater's bravest officers, Bridgewater's bravest, closer to our citizens, to be able to communicate about what we are trying to accomplish as a township police department and hear what's on their minds. We've had a citizens police committee that's been a resounding success. Some of the members who participated are here who will tell you how great this program has been. And every one of the more than 40 graduates from that program are now ambassadors to our residents, helping to build bridges throughout our community. We've cultivated our community through thoughtful process in how we budget, balancing the financial needs of our township, making sure we take this responsibility seriously to ensure that every tax dollar we spent is spent wisely and with your interests in mind. And we've taken a thoughtful approach to how we've cultivated our community with our land use management policies. Nothing is more important to the future of our township than how we develop it or how we preserve it. Maurizio Vecchio and Jeff Foose are here. They're our land use board chairs. They are the ones at the front line of leading those boards, and the volunteers, many of whom are in this room, to look out for the interests of our community over the interests of developers and make sure that what is proper gets approved and what is not gets denied. And they're the ones with our board members who serve on those boards who do that day in and day out. And we've taken a thoughtful approach to who's on those boards, how we put our land use policies in place, and how they're implemented. We've tried to take a thoughtful and innovative approach with our Bridgewater Reach program. We're providing tangible aid to families struggling with the opioid crisis here in Bridgewater, those that have gotten worse after the COVID crisis, and we're partnering with our local nonprofits to deliver real, meaningful, tangible results to help those who are struggling with addiction and who are in need. And most of you have heard us talk about our road program over and over and over again. Bill Burr, our engineer, is here, and Tom Genova, our director of municipal services, who I think cringe every time I mention a new road. But our approach with roads has resulted in over 200 roads out of our 600 being completed in the past 4 years. And we're only picking up steam now. And it's because of the approach that we've done through careful planning that's cultivated those benefits that will see us not just now, but sustainable through the future. I think that our residents deserve thoughtful leaders who don't just think and have ideas, but who are willing to fight for what we have and make sure that we protect it. It's not just a matter to have ideas. If you won't implement them, and if you won't make sure that whether it's the state government or federal policies or any number of outside interests that are going to come in and take what we have and what we cherish, we must fight to protect it. We'll fight to protect and make sure Bridgewater is free of crime, is safe and secure. We will stand 100% behind our Bridgewater police officers. We will make sure that they have the tools that they need and the support from our leadership and our community, that we stand behind them who put their lives on the line for us, unequivocally, and we ensure that we hold them to the highest standards and our community is safe and secure. We will fight and protect our opportunities for economic growth. We will make sure that policies from Trenton or from DC that impact and harm our businesses are pushed back on. We formed a Mayors for Main Street coalition with 25 other towns to push back on COVID policies that were harming our small businesses, refusing to let them open. And we fought to make sure that we could continue to support our local businesses. We will fight to protect our open spaces through acquisition and through defense of our land use. We will make sure that our town continues to be somewhere that has open space and parks and playgrounds. And we'll make sure that they get improved and they get built and preserved. We will also fight and protect the sanctity of our families and stand up for the value of all life. We are committed to keeping our family values front and center, knowing that the ideas that we plant in our children's minds and hearts will shape the very essence of the community we will become in the future. We will work to protect our children's education from special interests. We will push for the excellence of our school district, and we will stand up to those individuals who put their own self-aggrandizement above our children's special interest, our children's interests. And as we promised 4 years ago, we will be fearless in this fight. We'll be fearless in the fight for our Bridgewater families. We'll be fearless in the fight to protect our taxpayers' dollars. And we will be fearless for protecting this town for our kids, for future generations. We're not afraid to fail. We are afraid of not trying. And we will continue for the next 4 years to deliver the services our residents deserve with the best interests of our community always at the front of our minds. Thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for giving us a chance to implement this vision for Bridgewater. God bless all of you. God bless Bridgewater, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Mitch. At this point, I'm going to invite Councilman Kirsch to say a few words.
Good evening and Happy New Year. First, I want to thank Rabbi Dan Selsberg from my congregation, Temple Shalom, for delivering an uplifting and impactful invocation. When I was sworn into office 4 years ago, I spoke of the rich tapestry of religions and cultures within Bridgewater. I'm proud that through Rabbi Dan's prayer, a small portion of my faith could be shared with all of us today. During this new term, I will continue to lend the office and title I hold with whatever influence they may have to encourage religious and cultural cooperation across our community and in the broader society. Next, I want to thank our municipal judge, Catherine Howes, who's gone on to her next swearing-in, I might add, for swearing me in and acknowledge the bond that we have created for this new term. Today is the culmination of a political process, and I would not be standing here without the incredible support of the Somerset County Republican Organization, Bridgewater Republican Municipal Committee, and our campaign team. Whatever you did to help us, providing your time and efforts, delivering guidance, offering a shoulder to lean on, or all of the above, please accept my continued and heartfelt gratitude. To Matt and Tim, I could not have asked for better running mates to share the experience. To our residents, you showed faith by electing me to council in 2019. Based on what was delivered over the last 4 years, you extended that faith in 2023 for another 4 years. To show my continued appreciation for this opportunity, my approach will be unchanged, working hard each and every day, always placing the interests of Bridgewater first, and remaining accessible through email or a widely available home phone number to discuss any township matter. I'm so happy to share today's achievement with my family once again. Nicole, thank you for your love and your willingness to pick up additional responsibilities on the home front over the last several years so I could pursue my passion for public service. Phoebe and Robert, you provide me with my favorite title, which is Proud Dad, a testament to the mature, successful young adults you have become and for your many achievements. I close my remarks, as I did 4 years ago, by reading an important guiding principle. It is an adaptation of the Athenian oath taken by adults of ancient Athens nearly 2,500 years ago. I will never bring disgrace on this, our township, by an act of dishonesty or cowardice. I will fight for the ideals and sacred things of the township, both alone and with many. I will revere and obey the township laws and will do my best to incite a like reverence and respect. I will strive increasingly to quicken the public's sense of civic duty. Thus, in all these ways, we will transmit this township, not only not less, but greater and more beautiful than it was transmitted to us. Through the guidance of the mayor and council, work of our professional staff, dedication of our volunteers, devotion of our first responders who keep us safe, and input from across the community, I humbly and proudly state that we have successfully transmitted a greater and more beautiful Bridgewater. I am confident that our shared journey will allow us to reach even higher over the course of this new term. Best wishes for a happy, healthy, prosperous, and peaceful new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Kirsch. 4 years ago this week, I sat a few seats down on the dais as a newly sworn-in council member and gave some brief remarks, which included a quote from my late father: "A job worth doing is worth doing right." Over the last 4 years, I've worked hard to make sure that my efforts embody the thoughts of my late father. And tonight, those efforts in many ways have been rewarded, being sworn in as my second term on the council, having received a resounding election this past fall, as well as my colleagues choosing me tonight to lead the council over the next year as the council president. For that, I say thank you. I say thank you to each and every Bridgewater resident who has recognized my dedication over the last 4 years and supported my reelection. I thank my colleagues for having the confidence to lead the council this year. I would also be remiss if I didn't thank Councilman Kirsch for his leadership over the last year. Importantly, I thank my family. Sometimes people have a view that town council member goes to 2 meetings a month and that's it. And I can tell you the meetings are the easy part. It's everything that takes place in between the meetings that is the time-consuming piece. And so to my wife, Terry, I say thank you. My daughter, Elizabeth. My daughter, Amanda, I say thank you. She's very concerned. She had her wisdom teeth out earlier this week. She has a hard time smiling. She's happy to be here, but after 4 wisdom teeth out, has a swollen mouth. So she's happy to be here, though. And my mother's here, as well as my brother and my sister and their spouses, so thank you. Most importantly, I want to say thank you to all of the township employees that are here. There's several employees here, as well as several members of our various boards and committees. And, you know, we sit up here and we take certain actions and we get to take the benefits for things, but it's our township employees that work day in and day out in this town and help the town run smoothly and make our job much easier. And I think if you take a second, you just think about our employees and how they work together and in teamwork. The fact that our now retired clerk came back tonight to swear in someone who she helped groom and train to eventually take over for her speaks volumes of, you know, just the unity and the teamwork that exists in this township. So for everyone here that is a township employee, serves on a committee, serves on a board, thank you for everything you do because it makes our job much easier. You know, I grew up in Bridgewater, chose to raise my family here. My wife and I settled here. I've lived in Bridgewater for over 55 years. There's a lot of great things that exist in Bridgewater, some of which I've learned more about over the last 4 years, and I'm sure I will continue to learn more over the coming 4 years. And I sit here tonight and I make the same commitment that I made 4 years ago, and that is I'm going to do everything I can as a council member to embody a job worth doing is worth doing right. So thank you. All right, and with a reorganization meeting comes a number of business items that we have to do. Next up is some appointments. So before I move into this, just for the public that might not be aware, there's 4 types of appointments tonight we do. There's mayoral appointments with council consent for various staff member positions. Then we will do mayoral appointments with council consent for boards and committees. Then there's mayoral appointments which do not require any advice or consent of the council. We'll simply read those so the public is aware. And then there is a section for council appointments made by the members of the council. I know sometimes folks are here because you want to, make sure your appointment goes through. To the degree you can, please make sure you stay. After we do all 4 of those, anybody that is here that is appointed to any board or committee tonight, Deputy Township Administrator Fisher will deliver an oath of office to all of you at one time. So to the degree you can, please stay for that. And then following that, we will wrap up the meeting. There is also a reception tonight being hosted by the Bridgewater Republican Municipal Committee at Maggiano's that everyone is welcome to attend. So with that, I'm going to move into a lot of reading. I'm told I can read fast. I'll try not to read fast, but I'll try also not to read too slow. So with that, mayoral's appointments with advice and consent for staff. A, appointment of Michael Pappas as Director of Administration and Director of Finance. Salary and wage to be set annually pursuant to township ordinances. Appointment of Christine Madrid as Director of Department of Human Services. Salary and wage to be set annually pursuant to township ordinances. Establishing the bid threshold pursuant to NJSA 40A:11-3A to $44,000 and appointing Sarah Hausman as Bridgewater Township's qualified purchasing agent or QPA. D, appointment of qualified purchasing agent Sarah Hausman as 2024 Public Agency Compliance Officer, PACO. E, appointment of Thomas Genova as Director of Municipal Services, salary and wage to be set annually pursuant to township ordinances. F, authorizing appointment of William H. Burr IV, PE of Colors Engineering and Design as Township Engineer for a one-year term commencing on January 1st, 2024 in an amount not to exceed $120,000. G, confirming through advice and consent the appointment of Christopher M. Corsini, Esquire, as the Director of the Department of Law, a.k.a. the Township Attorney, upon appointment by the Mayor pursuant to NJSA 40:69A-43B and Chapter 4 of the Administrative Organization, Article 10, Department of Law, Section 4-49 of the Township Municipal Code for a 4-year term commencing on January 1st, 2024, and authorizing the execution of a professional service contract with the law firm of Savoshak, Corsini, Warner, Giuseppe, O'Grondike, and Fisher, PA, in the amount not to exceed $460,000 for the calendar year January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2027. H, authorizing and approving the fee schedule for affordable housing legal services for Christopher M. Corsini, Esquire, and the law firm of Savoshak, Corsini, Warner, Giuseppe, O'Grondike, Fisher, PA, in an amount not to exceed $100,000 for the period of January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. Authorizing and approving the, I, authorizing and approving the fee schedule for tax appeal legal services for Christopher M. Corsini, Esquire, and the law firm of Savoshak, Corsini, Warner, Giuseppe, O'Grondike, and Fisher, PA, in the amount not to exceed $400,000 for the period of January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. Authorizing Cleary, Jacoby, Alfieri, and Jacobs, LLC, O'Toole Shivo, LLC, Antonelli, Cantor, Rivera, Bell, Shivas, and Bell, and Wilson, Anderson, Peach as qualified firms to provide professional legal services for legal matters requiring a special counsel for the Township of Bridgewater for the year 2024, with cost to be determined at the time of engagement. Authorizing award of contract for professional services to John Drakewitz, Esquire, of the law firm of Gibbons, PC, as bond counsel for the calendar year 2024. L, authorizing the appointment of Matthew Jacoby, Esquire, the law firm of Cleary, Jacoby, Alfrey, Jacobs, LLC, as labor counsel for the Township of Bridgewater for a one-year term commencing January 1st, 2024, in an amount not to exceed $120,000. M, authorizing award of contract, professional legal services, municipal prosecutor John Lanza, Esquire, in an amount not to exceed $80,000 for a one-year commencing January 1st, 2024. N, authorizing award of contract for professional legal services, municipal public defender to Scott Mitzner, Esquire, for a one-year term commencing January 1st, 2024, in an amount not to exceed $20,000. O, authorizing award of contract professional legal services, first alternate municipal public defender to Megan Odulia, Esquire, for term commencing on January 1st, 2024, terminating December 31st, 2024, in an amount not to exceed $2,400. P, authorizing a contract to Roundhill Risk Partners, LLC, of 788 Morse Turnpike Suite 101, Short Hills, New Jersey, 07078, to serve as the township's risk manager for health insurance services for a term of 1 year, commencing January 1st, 2024, pursuant to the fair and open process as defined by NJSA 19:44A-20.7 at no cost to the township. Authorizing a contract to North American Risk Management, NAIM, DBA, Acrisure, New Jersey Partners Insurance Services, LLC, of 1460 Route 9 North, Suite 310, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 0795, to serve as the township's risk manager for property casualty insurance services for a term of 1 year commencing January 1st, 2024, pursuant to the fair and open process as defined by NJSA 19:44A-20.7 at no cost to the township. R, authorizing the continuation of public health services for Middlebrook Regional Health Commission for the year 2024 at a total cost of $115,672 pursuant to the requirements of NJSA 26:3-1, etc. S, authorizing the appointment of Michael Sullivan of the firm Clark Kenton Hintz PC as redevelopment planner and award of contract professional services contract in the amount not to exceed $10,000 for a 1 year term commencing January 1st, 2024. And lastly, T, authorizing award of contract to Rehabco, Inc. of 44 East Water Street, Toms River, New Jersey, to serve as the township's administrative agent for affordable housing and provide housing rehabilitation program services for a 12-month period commencing January 1st, 2024, in an amount not to exceed $180,000 paid from the township's Affordable Housing Trust Fund. Any?
Yeah, Mr. President, one minor adjustment, if we could clarify at letter G. As much as we'd like to buy one, get three free from our law firm, I believe the intention for that payment term is for January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. The appointment is for 4 years, but the pay term is only for this one.
That is correct.
Okay, duly noted. Anything else? Otherwise, I will entertain a motion to
I'll make that motion.
I will second it.
Councilman Cardilla and Councilman Norgalis. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kirsch,
Yes.
Councilman Codilla,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Pedrosa,
Yes.
President Ring.
Yes. All right. Number 7, mayor's appointment with advice and consent for boards and committees. A, appointment to the Greenbrook Flood Control Commission. Thomas Genova, Alan Cardilla, Council Liaison, Michael Kirsch, Alternate Council Liaison. B, appointment to the Raritan Millstone Flood Control Commission, Wells Winiger, alternate, Alan Cardilla, alternate. C, appointment to the Regional Center Partnership Committee, Matthew Mensch, Michael Pappas, Andrew Fresco, Philippe Pedroso, Council Liaison. D, appointment to the Community Emergency Response Team, or CERT, Ashish Vakar, Sherilyn Akista, Colin Critchlow, Darren Patel, Ed Schuler, James Edwards, James Sherrard, Joseph Cusimano II, Kamal Afani, Lisa Bigley, Leonard Cantarino, Mahesh Chandra, Mary Beth Englehart, Michael Harvest, Nikki Badlani, Pat Sullivan, Richard Weedman Jr., Robert Cusimano, Stephen Cornello Sr., Wayne Carter, Zamang Zheng. Any comments or questions? Oh, I'm sorry, nope. My bad. Wait. That's it, yeah. Sorry?
Mike was saying we need to vote on those.
Yes, if there was any comments or questions, otherwise I'll entertain a motion.
Just one clarification at number 7, I believe the name was Jason Sherrard. Want to make sure that that's noted.
I'll move all resolutions from 7A through 7D.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Councilman Kirsch,
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso,
Yes.
President Ring.
Yes. All right. The next are mayor's appointments without advice and consent. These are appointments that he is legally allowed to make without by himself. I'm just going to read these into the record. A, appointment to the Local Emergency Management Council. Ankit Shah, Christine Madrid, Christopher Corsini, Howard Nergalis, James Edwards, John Mitzak, John Tillotson, Michael Voorhees, Richard Shrimp, Thomas Scalera, Timothy Ring, Wayne Carter, Wells Winiger. B, appointment of planning board members. Class 1, Mayor Matthew Mensch. Class 2, Michael Pappas. Class 3, Sonia Chartowich. Class 4, Sonia Chartowich. Class 4, Ashley Sikora. Class 4, Indy Banga. 6, alternate 1, Naran Chaudhry, and alternate 2, William Akins. Appointment to the Somerset County Solid Waste Advisory Committee, Thomas Genova. D, appointment to the Somerset County Community Development Consortium, Wells Winiger, Scott Stevens, alternate. E, appointments in New Jersey Intergovernmental Insurance Fund Commissioners, Michael Pappas, Wells Winiger, alternate. Again, that does not require any action by the council. Moving to number 8, our council appointments. These are appointments done solely by the council. A, appointment of auditor, Suppley, Clooney and Company, 308 East Broad Street, Westfield, New Jersey, 070902122 in a total amount not to exceed $60,000 for a 1-year term commencing January 1st, 2024. Appointment of assessment search officer, William H. Burr IV, Township Engineer, PE. Appointment to the Bridgewater Raritan Municipal Alliance, Alexis Tarazi Hutchins, Andrew Fresco, Howard Nergalis, John Mitzak, Serena Collado. D, appointment to the Board of Adjustment, Bruce Bongiorno, regular member, John Gajewski, alternate 1, Claudio Vesio, alternate 4. E, appointment of Class 3 Planning Board member, Michael Kirsch. F, appointment of Tax Search Officer, Darrow Murdoch. G, appointment to the Somerset County Community Development Consortium, Alan Cardilla, Howard Nergalis, alternate. H, appointment to the Somerset County Solid Waste Advisory Committee, Howard Nergalis, Michael Kirsch, alternate. Appointment to the Somerset Raritan Valley Sewage Authority, Robert Albano, Commissioner, Howard Nergalis, Council Liaison, Michael Kirsch, Council alternate. Appointment to the Somerset Regional Animal Shelter Management Committee, Robert Devani, James Widelli, Tony Hoffman, and then number 4 is Joan Flynn as the alternate. Any comments or questions? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion of 9A through J together.
I'll second it.
I'm sorry, 8A through J.
Sorry, 8.
I'll second.
No. I thought it was, all right.
It's 8A through J.
8A through J. My apology.
I will second Councilman Kirsch's amended motion.
Roll call.
Councilman Kirsch,
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Pedrosa,
Yes.
President Ring.
Yes. So with that, if I read your name, I'm going to ask you all to please rise, and I'll turn it over to our Deputy Township Administrator. I'm sorry, Deputy Township Attorney. Yes.
All right. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
Alan Cordilla,
do solemnly swear or affirm
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
that I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
justly
perform all the duties of the
all
position
the offices
of Township of Bridgewater
of the Township of Bridgewater
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. Thank you all. Congratulations. For those of you that stood and took an oath of office, before you leave tonight, if you could please see Allie and Juliana, who are sitting up here at the table, maybe wave your hand, hello. They just need you to sign some paperwork. Okay? It's easier to do it tonight, otherwise you got to get it notarized and back, whereas they can do that for you. So, couple business resolutions that we need to pass on 10. One is the 2024 General Business Resolution, which grants various authorities to township staff, setting official designators, policies, and procedures pursuant to various applicable laws. Two is setting the 2024 Township Council schedule of meetings. Three is the 2024 temporary budget, current fund in the amount of $15,371,289.65. Four is setting the 2024 temporary sewer utility in the amount of $3,468,858.98. Five is establishes our cash management plan and names official depositories. Six is authorizing Bridgewater Township Engineer William H. Burrow IV, P.E. of the firm of Colliers Engineering and Design to execute NJDEP, NJDOT, and State of New Jersey and Somerset County permits on behalf of the township. Any questions or comments?
I'll move 10, 1 through 6.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Councilman Kirsch, yes. Councilman Cordilla,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Pedrosa,
Yes.
President Ring.
Yes. At this point, would entertain a motion to open the meeting to the public. Any members of the public are welcome to come forward. Please, you'll have to state your name and address, and you can speak to the council on any matter. Unless there's unusual circumstances, you're allowed 2 minutes to speak.
Motion to open.
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Seeing no members of the public wishing to address the council tonight, I'll make a motion to close public comment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I don't know, I know there was a conflict, was running late. I have not seen Pastor Hobbs. So with that, that concludes our meeting tonight. Just as a reminder, there is a reception that is being hosted by the Bridgewater Republican Municipal Club at Maggiano's. Everyone is welcome. We just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll
My
make that
favorite motion is to adjourn.
Howard, do we have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Meeting is adjourned.
You got this whole book memorized?
Oh, my God.
Good measure.
family.